Here's the latest thing that came in from one of the auctions. It's a 1938 Zenith 5S 220, also known as the Cube. From what I saw, there's these Cube style radios. There's a whole bunch of different models, not just this particular one. A whole line of these with slightly different cabinet styles. So you can see it's missing a knob. The cabinet's in pretty good shape. It's going to need minimal care to bring it back to life. And then the plug is busted on it. This radio was repaired back in 1984. The sticker says that 5 tubes were replaced, so hopefully they're still good. The dial is in real nice shape. The original coating is still on the chassis. This thing's in very nice condition. Well, flip it over and have a look underneath. Lots of original capacitors still in here. I'm gonna recap the whole thing. Looks pretty much untouched. Other than that one capacitor. Well, I'm gonna change out that plug and see what the radio does. Well, I discovered the speaker had been replaced. Radio Shack. It's a 5-inch 8-ohm speaker. Okay, I'm gonna run it up on the Variac. I have my watt meter on the floor. The Variac's pulling almost 12 watts just by itself, off. So I'll have to subtract that from whatever I read. It's drawing power and it's pulling 20 watts. I hear signs of life. Yep, no signs of life other than the static coming through the speaker. Okay, all the capacitors have been replaced, at least the paper wax ones, and the electrolytic. I'm going to hook this thing back up and see if it'll receive. This thing's pulling 45 watts, so that sounds reasonable. I'm going to turn these LED lights off and see if it sounds a little better. Yeah, a little bit. Still not great. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to pull all the tubes, clean all the sockets and pins, and I've got to do that. Uh-oh, there's a filter capacitor here. I missed this. Whoops. That's going to probably be bad. Oh, I replaced everything except I didn't realize that was there. That's really hidden. I missed it. That might take care of my hum right there. Golly, that's going to be fun to get to. See if I can show that. Okay. There's a hole down in there. Maybe I can point to it with the screwdriver. There we go. Well, kinda. There it is. That's the big old filter cap. Got to see what spec that is. I'll just disconnect it here and install a new electrolytic cap somewhere in here. I don't really have much room to work with, and I don't feel like cutting it open and restuffing it. Huh. This is moving around. Well, that's kind of weird. This capacitor is moving around freely inside the can. Huh. I'll see if that can comes off. Then I can just solder the new capacitor and slide it in without having to cut all that stuff loose and restuff it and glue the end on it. It's a hassle, but it's moving around freely. So this is my first Zenith I'm working on. It's on there. Not sure how it's attached. Okay, there's a nut here. So it looks like here, and then it goes through to take this cover off. So I'm gonna get that cover off and see what I have. So I'm gonna pull this. I think it's just a cover. I think the electrolytic is not bonded to this, since I can wiggle it around. However, there's a nut there and under all this mess, so that's going to be fun to get to. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, got that loose. Let's see what we have hiding underneath here. Ah, look at that. Ah, somebody's definitely been in here. Cool. That'll be easy to change. Well, I'm a little unsure of the wiring diagram. Covers a whole bunch of models. The rating for the dry electrolytic, the highest one is only 14 microfarads. So this was a 40 that was in it, so maybe they just threw in whatever. So I'm going to tack in, I don't have anything in 40, it goes from 33 to 47. I'm going to tack in the 33, play it, see how it sounds, then I'll tack in the 47, see if there's any noticeable difference. I don't know what else to do. Okay, I soldered in a 33 microfarad. Let's see what that sounds like. Don't want it to short out. Sounds pretty good. I'm going to swap that capacitor out with a 47 and see what that says. Okay, got the 47 tacked in. Let's see if there's anything I can notice. I don't know, maybe it's placebo effect, but I'm gonna go ahead and run the 47. It might be just all in my head. So I'm gonna take this back apart. I'll put some shrink tube on there, and they had the other one shimmed up with cardboard. I suppose I could do the same thing. I just don't want it to rattle around inside. Alright, I'm going to put this all back together, go after the tubes next. I'm going to go ahead and clean all the pins and sockets, make sure everything is snug, and then the final step will be an alignment. So in order to keep this secure, they had used cardboard for the other capacitor. I'm going to hot glue this to the side of this cardboard, and then I can slide it back into here. That should keep it from rattling around. Alright, that should keep it in place. This thing's just dirty. There's no corrosion anywhere that I can see on this to speak of. So tomorrow I'm going to get this all nice and clean. And I'll clean up all the tubes and the shields also. Then I'll be ready for an alignment. I just wanted to get some footage of this all cleaned up before I align it and put it back in the cabinet. I'm gonna put this back in the box and take it to the city and see how well it receives. I just replaced the cord. Amazon sells these rayon covered cords, so you can sort of mimic the old look, except it has the polarized plug on the end. And then it was missing a knob. Found a company online that actually reproduces these out of wood. So these reproductions look pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and replace them as a pair so they match each other. I'm gonna clean this one up. I worked on the cabinet, I didn't refinish it. I used some, so there's still gonna be places I didn't want to overdo it. So I cleaned it up with this new finish Scratch Doctor and then some Howard Feedin' Wax. It looks pretty good. And you can see where I left, I don't know if I can pick that up on camera. I'm going to pick up the grain here. There we go. You can see where the old lacquer started to crack. But I didn't want to over restore this one. Just wanted to clean it up and make it look good. So put it all together and head into town. Kramer's Best Antique Improver, that's what I used. It works all right. It smells kind of weird with the turpentine.